system is broken. Our beliefs are shaky, but the future is not certain. Many of us vote not based on policies, that's the fact. We don't need psychology to tell us that is whack. Honesty is what we lack. The system is the government of the people, by the people, and for the people. So if the government is corrupt, then part of the blame should be on the people, because our leaders are not from space, they are from among we the people. Now respect to Occupy Flagstaff House and Red Friday, but that's not enough. We need to respect our own vote cast, that is the fact. Instead of us waiting for the next election, let's take action. For this, our nation is like a company. We have got a part to play.
Human beings in a mob. What's a mob to a king? What's a king to a god? What's a god to a non-believer who doesn't believe in anything? You know, every time we talk about Occupy and movement, we talk about corruption, it's the one thing that keeps on coming to my mind. The two main things that we think should be in the law. If today we wake up and we're told that we can change the constitution, what are the things that should be in there that should make our lives a little bit better? The second thing will be to figure out, with all the noise we're making, can we even lead? We're all supposed to be making things better, but somehow when we think of making things better, we look outside of ourselves. We're looking at Kojo and Fia instead of ourselves as the people who should be leading and creating a change. So we're just going to do a little game of, so you think you can lead? Your own peers will judge you and you will just tell us why you think you can lead, right? It's often known as the Popular Initiative or the Citizens Initiative. Burkina Faso has that. So for them, if 30,000 people sign a petition and they send it, two things should happen. One is Parliament and the executive should take it, look at it, and give an official response that yes, it can happen or no, it cannot happen. The second thing is that from those deliberations in Parliament, if it needs to be voted on by the people, there should be a referendum for people to say, okay, we presented this petition, you've looked at it, can the people vote on it as well? So it gives them those options.
So it was something we did as a social group for Ghana. So what it is you go onto the Google Play Store, you look for 233 Law, download it, you can sign on so that you can get daily constitutional bites and stuff like that. So if you have an Android phone, it's now on Android, but if you're on iPhone, you can check it on www.233law.org. And then you can do all the interactions on there. We want people to get to know the Constitution because we think that the Constitution is actually what makes us live as Ghanaians.
Do we have a right to vote for our DCs? Do we have a say in what happens to our Constitution? Do we have a say as to what will be amended into our Constitution? Now, for example, if you live in the UK, you are living in a county per se. So if your road is untarred or there's noise, there's any problem you have in your county, there is a county office, like it's similar to the DCs, but the thing is they are voted by the county members during election. So for example, if the Prime Minister is going to be put on power, it comes with those. There are certain points where they'll be going around homes, knocking on doors, asking who the commissioner or the chairperson of that county, similar to the DC, is going to be. So they are accountable to the people who live in that county. So if you have an untarred road, there is an office you go and complain to, because these things are done with the taxpayers' money. So hence you have a right to know what your money is being used for. Now, we don't have any say on who our DCs are. So if I've got a road which is untarred, how can I go into the DC and say, why is my road untarred? Where is my money going to? Article 1, subclause 1, it says, the sovereignty of Ghana resides in the people of Ghana, and in whose name, for whose welfare, the powers of government are to be exercised, and in the manner within the limits laid down by the Constitution. When the recommendations came out, it was somewhere accepted, and when it was accepted, there's a due process that accepted bills needs to go through, and it wasn't followed. So, according to Clause 2 of Article 290, which requires that the Speaker to refer to proposals for the amendments of the Council of State cannot therefore be taken as a stand-alone provision which clothes the Speaker with an administrative authority to initiate constitutional amendments. Now, if there is a constitutional amendment, it's the Parliament who is supposed to do this by virtue of our Constitution.
Occupy Ghana is a non-partisan political movement. It is a political movement, that is true, that is 1. 2, it is a movement. 3, it is non-partisan. We have no political party affiliations. What we seek to do is to positively engage citizens, people like you and I, okay, concerning issues about governance, good governance. It has come to that point in our democracy where we shouldn't think that if the government fixes your roads for you, the government is doing you a favor. No, you're entitled to it anyway. Since the 1992 Constitution came into force on the 7th of January 1993, the Office of the Auditor General, which is created under Article 187, and that office is vested with enormous powers to check corruption, has failed to carry out its constitutional mandate. Now it gives us reason to get worried. It gives us cause to believe that perhaps the Auditor General, though independent on paper in the Constitution, is probably in bed with the executive. Don't let us go far. Just pick the 2012 report. You realize that the Auditor General makes specific findings that look, this person, this contract was awarded without going through the proper procurement. And then he goes ahead to say that as a result, the state has lost this. However, I recommend that this should happen. But that's not what the Constitution says. The Constitution says disallow it and surcharge the person. Indeed, you did the reports. There are portions where it says that the head of department, together with the financial controller of a particular district assembly, should be held accountable for the losses occasioned the state as a result of their negligence. And he leaves it at that.
What difference is Occupy Ghana doing different from previous non-political movements?
With time, you have come to realize that these political movements, okay, that you made mention of, that you made reference to, have party affiliations. I mean, it's so obvious. Take CJ, take AFA. It is very obvious, okay? But for us at Occupy Ghana, you notice the difference. Indeed, when Occupy Ghana started, when Occupy Flagstaff House started, many were the attempts that were made to bring us down, to discredit the entire event, the entire protest.
And it's another issue when you have members or affiliates of the current government as members of Occupy Ghana. policies that would clarify issues, particularly when Occupy Ghana just came up with respect to this government. So how sure are we that Occupy Ghana is not partisan?
You happen to find yourself affiliated to the current government, you wouldn't want to join such a movement.
The public opinion has a lot of influence. So if the government thinks that they're becoming popular, weighing the political cost is doing this. So that could be
I need 5 people for leadership.
I have the capability of influencing others towards a goal. I have the interest in achieving a beneficial goal for achieving a beneficial goal.
I think I'm a good leader because I listen to my subordinates. I think a good leader should be able to listen to the people he or she thinks are maybe working for him or her. Because without them you can't, because you have situations whereby the people you think are working for you will give you ideas. That's one. And I think I'm a good leader because I provide great service. I like to give results. I like to do my very best to give results.
Being a leader is also being a servant to whoever you should be leading. And my base point of being a leader is, for me, working hand in hand. That is whereby you can not even listen, but know exactly what is going on. Once you don't take the position of the master and the slave approach in you having to lead people.
First of all, experience, and experience built on service, because throughout all the examples of leadership worldwide and even biblically, whenever there's leadership, there's service. And for me, I believe that leadership isn't just about you, the individual. You should be able to impart your leadership skill to others.
I want to explain why you do that. Then after you finish the 2,
I will score 2.5. I would have scored him 4, but he used Moses as example. And Moses in some way he was fed up.
Give our first leader 2 because he wasn't able to articulate his point very well. I'll give Mr. Ekia 3 because I disagreed a little bit about his first point about manipulating people.
it's turned out very well. I've enjoyed myself and I'm hoping that hopefully we have all
Yamba pesa mengkumi yankahu, etim na kami nyina yamfankahu. Yamba jentum, yamba petro kakrangum non shukra. Na me yeti majra, yeti majro. Obiarambra na wama yamfa. Obiarambra na wama yamfa.
Who are the owners of this business?
Oh, it's just one place.
Oh, okay. What gave you the idea to start this business?
I wanted to provide something for the students who needed something like that. A place to just hang out, relax, drink their daily coffee.
the Agora and one simple endorse.
Endorse.